The WNBA just witnessed their worst nightmare become reality. Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks of WNBA action with a left quad strain, the Indiana Fever announced. This devastating blow strikes the league at its most vulnerable point, with Clark responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in 2024. The timing couldn't be worse for a league that built its entire marketing strategy around one 23-year-old player. The injury announcement sent immediate shockwaves through the basketball world. Clark's first non-preseason missed game since her sophomore year in college represents more than just a setback for the Fever. It exposes the WNBA's complete dependence on their golden goose while revealing a pattern of negligent player protection that enabled this preventable disaster. Evidence suggests Clark played through significant pain while league officials turned a blind eye to mounting concerns. The Fever's statement revealed she would miss a minimum of 2 weeks with further updates provided following re-evaluation. This vague timeline indicates the injury's severity exceeds initial assessments. Clark missed the Fever's preseason opener because of left quad tightness. Now she faces another quad injury in the exact same leg. The team insists this new injury is separate from the preseason issue, but when the same muscle group fails twice in the same season, that's not coincidence. That's a pattern of negligence. Video footage from the May 24th Liberty game captured Clark using heat compression on her leg during actual gameplay. You don't need medical expertise to understand that means she was already dealing with significant pain. Her shots fell short all game long, missing the explosive power fans expect from her deep-range attempts. These visible warning signs should have raised immediate red flags. Coach Stephanie White admitted after the MRI results came back that she wasn't even sure exactly when Clark got injured. The team only discovered something was seriously wrong when they received a message after the game. White said, "I'm glad that she did because we need to nip this in the bud," referring to Clark finally speaking up about her discomfort. This revelation exposes how Clark was hiding her pain while absorbing punishment from opponents who knew referees wouldn't protect her. Clark has endured systematic physical targeting for 2 straight years through her rookie season until the first few games of this year. Defenders have been allowed to grab her, bump her off screens, and deliver hard fouls with minimal consequences from referees. Every game she absorbs contact that would get flagged for other players. The targeting has been obvious, and the officials have done nothing to protect their biggest star. The inconsistent foul calls throughout Clark's career tell the complete story. Players could grab her jersey, bump her off screens, and deliver hard contact with minimal consequences. Meanwhile, Clark got called for the smallest infractions. The referees created an environment where defenders knew they could get away with physical play against her. This injury was completely preventable. Proper rest after the preseason strain, better officiating to stop the targeting, and medical staff recognizing the warning signs could have avoided this disaster. Instead, everyone looked the other way while the league's most important player's body broke down. The season opener between the Indiana Fever and Chicago Sky on May 17th set the tone for everything that followed. Clark and Angel Reese clashed during the Fever's 93-58 victory when Clark slapped Reese's arm hard enough to knock the ball loose and send Reese to the floor. Reese attempted to confront her rival immediately after the play. "You're crazy as fuck!" Reese could be seen shouting in Clark's direction. The incident escalated when referees upgraded Clark's foul to a flagrant after replay review. Reese and Fever center Aliyah Boston each drew technical fouls during the confrontation. Clark maintained her position after the game, stating, "Let's not make it something that it's not. It was just a good play on the basketball. I'm not sure what the refs saw to upgrade it, and that's up to their discretion. It's a take foul to put them at the free throw line. I've watched a lot of basketball in my life. That's exactly what it was. I wasn't trying to do anything malicious. That's not the type of player I am." The rivalry between Clark and Reese dates back to college when Reese helped lead LSU to victory over Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes for the 2022-23 national championship. Reese appeared to taunt Clark by waving her hand in front of her face and pointing to her ring finger. This college animosity carried directly into the professional ranks. A day after the Fever Sky confrontation, the WNBA launched a racism investigation. The league released a statement relating to alleged hateful fan comments at the Sky Fever game. Social media posts allege that Reese and possibly other Sky players were subjected to racist slurs during the lopsided loss to the Fever. The WNBA concluded its investigation and announced they found no evidence to support the claims. The WNBA said this in its official statement, based on information gathered to date, including from relevant fans, team, and arena staff, as well as audio and video review of the game. We have not substantiated it. Clark addressed the allegations during a media session, explaining the arena's noise level made it impossible to hear specific comments. It's super loud in here, and though I didn't hear anything, I think that's why they're doing the investigation. That doesn't mean nothing happened, so I'll just trust the league's investigation, and I'm sure they'll do the right thing. Both teams issued statements supporting the investigation process. Chicago Sky CEO Adam Fox said, "We appreciate the quick action by the league and the Indiana Fever to take this matter seriously and to investigate. This process demonstrates the league's strong stance on stopping hate at all WNBA games and events, and we will continue to support those efforts." When asked whether she provided specific details to assist the investigation, Reese declined to elaborate. "That's not a me question," she told reporters, adding that she was receiving widespread support across the league.
They're investigating alleged comments or hateful comments from fans towards Sky players. We talked about this in the past. Now it should be an inclusive environment. If you wanted to speak on that again?
Yeah, there's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. And, certainly we want every person that comes into our arena, whether player, whether fan, to have a great experience. So I appreciate the league doing that. I appreciate, the Fever organization has been at the forefront of that since, really day one and what they're doing. So we'll, hopefully the investigation, we'll leave that up to them to find anything and take the proper action if so.
Clark's physical confrontations didn't end with the Reese incident. During Thursday night's game against the Atlanta Dream, Clark found herself in another shoving match with Atlanta's Rhyne Howard. Howard and Clark jostled for the ball before Howard appeared to push Clark away and go after her rival. Television cameras captured Clark's response to Howard's aggression. Clark appeared to mouth, "I'm not scared of you," directly at the Dream star. The Fever won the game 81-76, moving to 2-1 on the season. But the incident highlighted the continuing pattern of physical confrontations involving Clark. These repeated altercations demonstrate how opponents have been emboldened to test Clark physically, knowing that referees consistently fail to provide adequate protection. The league's tolerance for this behavior created an environment where targeting Clark became acceptable and even celebrated. The most explosive controversy emerged when cameras captured Brittney Griner making comments during the Indiana Fever's 81-76 victory over the Atlanta Dream. Critics accused Griner of calling Clark trash, before allegedly saying "fucking white girl" in frustration over a foul on Natasha Howard. Conservative firebrand Riley Gaines shared the viral clip online and interpreted the three-time Olympic gold medalist's comments as a verbal attack. Brittney Griner appeared to call Caitlin Clark trash and a fucking white girl after fouling out last night, Gaines tweeted. "Just a reminder, this is who we traded for, the Russian merchant of death." The clip sparked intense debate online with different interpretations of what Griner actually said. Former ESPN commentator Jamile Hill argued Griner had not called out Clark, stating, "She clearly says trash and fucking whack call." Other observers claimed lip reading isn't always accurate, and the audio remained unclear. Right-wing media pundit Paul Sepula demanded WNBA action, tweeting, "Will the WNBA condemn, fine, and suspend Griner for this racist comment? Of course not. The WNBA is trash, just like Griner." 2 days after the alleged incident, Griner cut her halftime interview with CBS Sports short during the Dreams game against the Dallas Wings. She spotted referees walking past and could be heard yelling at them.
BG, right now you have 10 points, 5 rebounds. We see the Atlanta Dream as being very... Right now she's talking to the refs about holding. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Very important questions there, I'm sure, for Brittney Griner. She said sorry.
Let's take a look at the final numbers. I got to tell you, number one, shame on the WNBA, because the WNBA and everything that's happened in the last 3 days absolutely wore down this Indiana Fever.
Caitlin Clark has just been exposed in shocking new footage, and what's just been revealed about the WNBA's officiating scandal has basketball fans completely stunned. For months, suspicions about biased officiating against Clark circulated through basketball circles. Until now. A comprehensive video compilation has just surfaced showing systematic targeting of the league's biggest star, exposing a level of officiating bias that nobody could prove until this devastating evidence emerged, and sending shockwaves through the basketball world when frame-by-frame analysis revealed what many suspected but couldn't document. Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever superstar and WNBA's record-breaking sensation, created unprecedented controversy when leaked footage documented her treatment during the recent Fever Dream game that ended in a heartbreaking 91-90 loss. Born from months of questionable calls and non-calls, this shocking revelation revolutionized understanding of how officials handle the league's most dominant player, completely exposing a systematic pattern of bias that threatens the integrity of women's basketball. The implications of this leaked footage extended far beyond a single game's officiating. This wasn't just another controversial call compilation. This represented undeniable evidence of targeted discrimination against Clark. Despite recording a monster stat line of 27 points and 11 assists, Clark faced what the footage reveals as 7 clear instances where she was hit on the arm while shooting with no whistle called, contact that would result in automatic fouls for any other player in the league. What makes this leaked footage particularly devastating is the methodical documentation of officiating disparities. The compilation shows Clark getting essentially tackled from behind while attempting a layup with no foul called, while the same actions being judged completely differently depending on who's involved. In one particularly egregious sequence, Clark gets knocked to the ground on a three-point attempt, with the defender clearly making contact with her landing space, a textbook flagrant foul that wasn't even called as a common foul. Clark's historic performance, despite the biased officiating, aligns perfectly with her record-breaking trajectory. With this game, she tied Courtney Vandersloot for the most 20-point 10-assist games in WNBA history. The difference being Clark has played 42 games while Vandersloot needed over 400 games. She also became the 4th fastest player in WNBA history to reach 800 career points, continuing to obliterate records while facing systematic officiating bias. The specific timing of this footage leak comes amid growing concern about Clark's treatment throughout the season. Having grabbed 5 rebounds in the first half alone, Clark demonstrated her improved all-around game. Yet, the compilation shows 4 separate occasions where Clark was called for ticky-tack fouls while playing straight-up defense. In one instance, she's standing completely still with her arms vertical. The Dream player initiates all contact, and somehow Clark gets whistled. As basketball analysts and former players have noted, this footage demonstrates unprecedented officiating inconsistency. Even casual observers notice something seriously wrong, with Clark's boyfriend Connor McCaffrey tweeting, "Good to see the W refs in mid-season form," while Jason Whitlock chimed in that this officiating crew is horrible. The sentiment was universal across social media when you've got casual fans, hardcore basketball junkies, and professional analysts all saying the same thing. But wait, there is more. The importance of this leaked evidence extends beyond Clark's treatment into broader WNBA integrity concerns. Two-time Masters champion Bubba Watson, who attended the game, seemed perplexed by what he was witnessing, highlighting how celebrities from other sports are noticing the discrepancy in officiating. When you've got observers from completely different sports questioning basketball officiating, you've got a serious problem. Clark's influence as the league's biggest draw makes this systematic targeting even more incomprehensible. Her games are selling out arenas while TV ratings are skyrocketing. She's literally the golden goose that the WNBA has desperately needed for decades. Yet the leaked footage shows officials seemingly working to limit her impact through biased whistles, creating a situation where physical defense against Clark seems to be encouraged by the lack of whistles. Even more shocking than the individual missed calls is what this footage reveals about potential organizational directives. During a recent studio segment, an analyst accidentally mentioned talking points they'd received about how to discuss Clark, with a hot mic catching them saying, "Remember what they told us about balancing the Clark coverage before being cut off." This suggests the management might extend beyond media narratives and into the actual gameplay itself. The contrast between Clark's professional response and the systematic bias she faces couldn't be more dramatic. Clark herself never complains about officiating. She's remarkably composed, doesn't whine to refs, doesn't throw tantrums, yet continues facing treatment that doesn't look random. It looks targeted and systematic. Her teammates are increasingly vocal, with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell, who both scored 24 points, making observations about the inconsistency. For those who truly understand basketball officiating standards, this leaked footage represents far more than controversial calls. It symbolizes a complete breakdown of competitive integrity when the same rules applied the same way for everyone on the court becomes impossible. From obvious no calls on shooting fouls to phantom defensive fouls, this compilation proves beyond reasonable doubt that Clark faces different officiating standards than her peers. The broader basketball community's reaction to this leaked footage has created widespread outrage. Multiple observers noted the game became brutal to watch because of constant inconsistent whistles, with one analyst describing it as slowed down most of the game. So many damn foul calls made it visually hard to watch. Social media erupted with evidence of the clear bias, creating viral content that is going mainstream beyond hardcore basketball fans. Through this shocking, leaked footage, Clark's story reveals the impossible challenges of competing against both opponents and officials. Her journey from college sensation to professional target proves that exceptional talent can overcome systematic bias. From record-breaking performances to documented officiating discrimination, Caitlin Clark has demonstrated precisely why this evidence threatens the WNBA's credibility as a legitimate professional league. As the basketball world processes the implications of this leaked footage, attention inevitably shifts to the WNBA's response. Beyond the immediate shock of documented bias lies the ultimate question. Will the WNBA acknowledge the systematic targeting and reform their officiating standards, or continue the deafening silence that has characterized their crisis management approach? The league's response will determine whether they embrace their biggest star or continue undermining their own product at the precise moment they should be celebrating unprecedented success. The evidence is now undeniable through frame-by-frame footage exposing how officials handle Clark differently from everyone else on the court. This leaked compilation has made it impossible for the WNBA to continue pretending this systematic bias doesn't exist. The question becomes whether they'll address this growing scandal or watch their credibility crumble under the weight of documented discrimination against their own biggest attraction. Do you think this leaked footage proves the WNBA is systematically targeting Caitlin Clark, or are these just unfortunate officiating mistakes? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more updates.
With a new season tipped off this weekend with several marquee matchups on the slate, most fans were excited to see Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever take on Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. The game was a blowout as the Fever beat down Chicago 93-58, with Clark's triple-double leading the way. But the biggest headline coming out of the game on Saturday is the investigation the WNBA is conducting into allegations of hateful fan comments directed at Angel Reese. It happened after this play when Clark slapped at the ball after Reese grabbed an offensive rebound and had a clear path to the basket. Reese fell to the court, got back up, and tried to confront Clark, but Fever forward Aaliyah Boston got between the two women. Clark's foul was upgraded to a flagrant 1, and Reese and Boston were assessed technical fouls. Here's a statement from Sky CEO Adam Fox on fans who seemed a bit unruly following the incident. Quote, "We welcome the WNBA's investigation of allegations of fan misconduct during our first game of the season. We will do everything in our power to protect Chicago Sky players, and we encourage the league to continue taking meaningful steps to create a safe environment for all WNBA players." End quote.
Did the WNBA just launch a full-blown investigation over some tweets? Because that's exactly what it looks like. Angel Reese says she was targeted by racist fans. But here's the twist. Her own coach, Tyler Marsh, just dropped a bombshell that casts serious doubt on the entire narrative. So what really happened during the Indiana Fever versus Chicago Sky showdown? Was there actually a hateful incident from the crowd, or are we looking at a masterclass in media manipulation? Let's break it all down. What Reese said, what Marsh revealed, and how this controversy might just be the most revealing drama in the WNBA this season. During the game, things got heated between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Clark, while playing defense, was called for a flagrant foul after making contact with Reese. The moment sparked a visible confrontation on the court. Reese got up and went directly toward Clark, not the crowd. But after the game, a new narrative emerged. Reese suggested she had been targeted by racist remarks from the stands. No specifics, no direct quotes, just that something was said, and just like that, the internet erupted. The WNBA quickly responded by announcing a formal investigation. In their statement, they emphasized their No Space for Hate initiative, reaffirming a commitment to protect players and eliminate discrimination. But here's the catch, not one shred of audio or video evidence has surfaced. No one sitting courtside reported anything. No commentator mentioned it during the game. The arena was packed with smartphones, and the game